and welcome to my channel Oliver 1917, where I'm going to be exploring 1/72nd scale models from a variety of manufacturers from a variety of different time periods and nations. So we will begin with the Italeri number 6124 Mongolian cavalry from the 13th century, part of its historics range. So firstly we are looking at some rather nice box art. Depicts, well, more or less a command section. It doesn't necessarily show you any of the more typical Mongolian steppe archers that you would largely find filling out the ranks of the army of the largest ever contiguous land empire. So, as it's the 13th century, this would be around about the time of Kublai Khan, grandson of Genghis Khan, as he conquered, notably China and extended his reach, but which famously this empire collapsed after his death. So, with that preamble, let's actually have a look at the box. So, like I say, we've got a nice piece of box art here, depicting a drummer on camel, some kind of commander with a mace, with an eastern saber. I don't know enough of equestrianism to know if these are particularly accurate. We do know that the Mongolians, obviously having a large empire, would be using a variety of steeds, as represented by this drummer here on camel. If these are steppe ponies or more Arabian horses, or perhaps even Welsh horses, we don't know. Or at least I don't know. But it's certainly a good, a good bit of box art compared to, some of the scribblings that you do see out there. So, let's actually get around to looking at the other side. You'll have to forgive the production quality. I'm using it on my phone. So yes, it tells us that we get 15 unpainted figures. It gives us a very rough, sort of guide on how to paint these. So yeah, nothing particularly exciting, but pretty good. There are some manufacturers that leave a lot to be desired when it comes down to the actual box art and the packaging, but this is a very, very well produced item. So let's actually have a look what's inside the box. So we get 3 sprues, there we go. Oh, this YouTube business is rather hard work, isn't it? So yeah, here we have 3 sprues containing identical sculpts and moulds. Well, I'd say figures. Very nice. Pretty good value for money. So, what have we got so far? We've got a hunter with a falcon, who, although seems to be on some kind of hunt, is wearing his rather flash helmet, which is, if you're a bit of a pedant with your historical accuracy, yeah, it's probably a bit of a, bit superfluous. So we've got a rather nice mount here. Then we've got the drummer, and if you look at his boots, aren't they lovely? Heelless and pointed, very nice. Very steppe-like. So yeah, we've got the camel there, and look at that, look at the texture on it, very, very finely sculpted. Excellent mould work. We've got a rather long-maned steed there. Saddlery's pretty nice. I'm not an expert, so I can't attest to the historical accuracy of these figures, but to the layman, very nice. Yeah. Oh, let's just flip it over. So, aside from the drummer, they're all carrying weaponry and composite bows, famously associated with steppe warriors since the 3rd century, 4th century with the Huns. And yeah, very nice. Very little flash or excess plastic. There's kind of a little bit on the hunter, if we just have a look there, you'll see half of it, obviously, because it's in his bow case, which seems to he seems to be holding on to it. So yeah, very, very good, very good value for money. I'd say as far as the actual build quality goes, it's a solid 4 out of 5. You will not be spending too long carving excess plastic or flash off these figures. The bases are excellent, nice and flat and chunky, so you can stick them on stands rather easily. They seem, aside from the camel with its longer base, they seem to all be uniform. From a rough guide, let's have a look at how much. So yeah, it's what, 50 millimeters, so 5 centimeter long bases. Camel looks to be about 60 or so. So yeah, you could do worse. I'd say that the poses, they're all pretty lively. The actual figures themselves, very well sculpted. They all look to be doing something rather interesting. However, you do get 3 sprues, so differentiating between them all, it's going to be hard. You will need another set really to complement this one. So my final thoughts, I would give it a solid 3 out of 5. Very, very good. Not great, but definitely not bad. And yeah, you can pick it up pretty good. Pretty good value for money, pretty cheap. I think I paid about 10 or 11 quid off hannants.co.uk for these. And yeah, there's a command section. They work absolutely brilliantly, I'd say. I'm looking forward to building them up and painting them. Obviously, because they're Mongolians, they're very interesting figures to paint. So yeah, solid, totally worth it. Grab them if you can.